Hello everyone and welcome to 3 Times a Gamer. So I'm back after having a few laptop issues. Unfortunately decided to play up a bit on me, but thankfully a hard reset, a whole full system restore has seemed anyway to have fixed the issue, so I'm back for now at least. So I don't do too much on the reporting side of things in terms of news, but I feel like it was important for me to mention my thoughts on this announcement, and that announcement is the one that Nintendo made yesterday on the Labo product that they're bringing out. Now, what Labo is, for anyone who has not seen the information, essentially Nintendo are releasing software that comes pre-packaged with flat-packed cardboard accessories. Now, I know what that sounds like. It sounds a bit odd, to say the least. Now, primarily, this seems to be aimed towards children. Now, that's not to say just children are going to be interested. Myself, I might actually pick up one because I think they look very interesting. It all depends on the money situation, because there's a lot coming out this year that I want to pick up. And this isn't going to necessarily fall on my top sort of game lists. But essentially the way it works is you pop these cardboard structures out, you make them up, and they act as your peripherals essentially for the different games that are out. Now, for me, I think it's a fantastic move for Nintendo. It's something that's completely new. Well, I say completely new. I mean, there are arts and crafts things out there already, obviously, and we've had things like Google Cardboard, so I guess we've had things in a similar vein, but I haven't seen anything take it the way Nintendo have. So, you know, Nintendo essentially, they've mixed arts and crafts with video gaming, and I think that's a genius move. Now, it allows people to not only have all these peripherals at a very cheap price, but you know, you can customize them the way you want. Whether that's colouring them in a certain colour, putting stickers on them, or you know, using a 3D printer to make plastic versions of them even. Completely up to you. Now from the trailer, I can see at the moment there's 2 different products coming out initially. So one is a standalone game where it's like a mech game, a robot having to destroy buildings, I think it is. And then the other one is like a 5 game thing, which you've got I believe it's a 13 key piano, you've got some kind of house game, you've got some remote control cars, you've got a motorbike game, and you've also got a fishing game. So all very different to each other, the closest are obviously being the remote control car and the motorbike. But this is just totally unique and just out of nowhere, out of left field, and allowing you to use the Switch in completely new in interesting ways. Now the Switch has obviously got the motion controls in the Joy-Cons, so that's being used to full effect in the Labo set, which are also called in Toy-Cons, which is very interesting, that they're, you know, playing on their Joy-Con aspect. So let's take fishing for example. You make up your fishing rod, slot the controllers in, so you have one that's essentially controlling the up and down movement, then you've got the other one where you'll use the reel to pull in the fish. So we've had motion controls done like that before. They're normally set in hard plastic peripherals, which can be quite expensive at times. Now, you're looking at probably £10 or $10, I expect, for the cardboard. You know, the selling price is about £60, $60, but that's with the software as well. But you can make them for free because Nintendo are actually supplying the schematics, so you've got that option as well. So it's a much cheaper alternative, and it's also more creative as well. The remote control cars, apparently they work by using the vibration on the Joy-Cons. They vibrate in a certain way which allows you to control them. You use the touch panels on the screen, and then the Joy-Cons are attached to the cardboard, and you can move them around. So not only is it ingenious how it's actually using those functions, you're taking it from being a video game to being something physical that you can control around the room. So Nintendo have extended their reach there as well. So no longer is the Switch going to be a home console, a handheld console. It now has the ability to be a physical game or toy, which I think is great, especially for kids. As I say, it allows kids to get away from the screen a little while by doing something creative, but while still doing something towards gaming, because many children, like me, like their video games. But if you can help them do something that's outside of that but still relates to it, then that's great, I think. Much like Pokemon Go was still a video game, but it had people walking around outside. So I think that's great. But another example of a clever way they're using the Joy-Cons, for the piano, for example, in order for the keys to detect what you're pressing. So from what I can see, the way it works is Joy-Con with the IR beam at the bottom goes in the back of the keyboard, and then when you press a key, it looks like that interrupts a certain part of that signal, which would then be fed back to the game and then produce the sound. So it's really clever. I'm really impressed at how they're doing this, and it's come out of nowhere. They've completely expanded their demograph and what they can do with the Switch. So I think that's pretty big for them to do. Switch is already pretty much dominating everything right now in sales, but I think this has potential to take it to the next level. Now, whether they can keep the momentum up, whether they're going to continue offering new sets, we'll have to wait and see, I guess. But I hope they do. I mean, in the trailer, we can see some other sets that aren't in the initial sets they're releasing. So you can see something that looks like a drum set, something that looks like a steering wheel, something that looks like a gun. So to me, it suggests they have got other experiences coming out, which is really good. But I know some people out there are basically saying it's expensive for a piece of cardboard. Well, okay, you might think that, but as I said before, it's including the software. So I don't think it's that expensive myself. Some people have worried about the durability of it. Yeah, I have a little bit of concerns on that. But if they're giving out the as Nintendo are giving out the schematics, there's nothing to stop you making plastic versions and making them nice and durable, which again is fantastic. Another thing as well, if this game isn't very good, you haven't got a load of rubbish lying around your home, you can throw it away really, because it's cardboard at the end of the day. Sell the game, get rid of the cardboard. It's not like you're spending a ton of money on a balance board or something like that you never use. And don't get me wrong, I understand why some people are disappointed. There was rumours going around how Nintendo were going to light up the internet with a massive announcement, and people were really excited about something really big that they would want, and it didn't happen for them because they were a hardcore gamer that wanted something that appealed to them. Well, we had a Nintendo Direct Mini, and we're sure we're going to get more information later in the year about other things. So we kind of already had that. So I think it's good really that Nintendo have done something a little different, and it still has done what they said. It still has lit up the internet, both for good and negative reasons, depending on which camp you fit in. For me, I think it's a fantastic thing, especially for children. Get them doing something a little bit different, but while still in the gaming field. I'm going to try and pick up at least one of them so I can show you guys what they're like and have a little art and craft session, I guess, before we play it. But it does all depend on money. But I will do my best to get at least one of the sets to show you. Yeah, so I'm really happy with the announcement. I'm sure there's a ton of stuff I haven't mentioned about it. I just wanted just to get on here really and just to give you my rough thoughts. But yeah, I think it's great. I've said that a lot through the video, but it's strange, even though it's not the biggest announcement it could ever be for me, because it is aimed at the younger audience. Strangely, I feel really excited about it. For making my own cardboard creations, it's strange, you know. It might be that you play it for 5 minutes each game, you're like, oh, really? Is that it? And you move on. It may well be that, but there's something about it that I don't know. I guess the best way to put it is it's perfectly Nintendo, in that when they do an announcement right, it gets you excited because it takes you back to your childhood and makes you feel like a kid again. I guess that's what this has done. Something I would be very excited for if they do would be if they end up having games around things like, let's say Zelda, and you have a Joy-Con for your sword, a Joy-Con for your shield, and you have your cardboard accessories, and you have a game based on that. Would be amazing. Same with Metroid, if you have like an arm blaster, would be really cool. It's completely not necessary, but to have something like that I think would be really cool. So I hope they bring it in that direction, not as something that you have to have, but something that you can have as an extra, or even if it's like a little mini game sort of series, where you can, a little mini game series where you can do that kind of thing, would be really, really interesting for me, and really cool and geeky and silly and not necessary, but still cool. But one more point that I would just like to make is, when I first saw the video, I was a little bit worried because it looks like some of them especially the robot one, I thought you had to have a lot of different Joy-Cons to make it work. But I actually think I was looking at the coloured rope on the feet and hands that pulls the wires. By looks of it, what it is, that is actually going to go in front of the IR signal and actually control what you're doing on screen. I think I made a mistake on that, so I was very worried about that, thinking you have to buy a expensive game and also have all these Joy-Cons. But from what I think, I made a mistake on that, and my initial assumption was wrong. So provided that is the case and I am wrong on that, then yeah, it looks really good. So yeah, I think that's pretty much me done. Before I go off, just one more note I'd like to make that's separate from this is just the recent changes on YouTube. Yes, they're annoying because there's a much higher starting point before you can monetize channels, so that will definitely hit this channel. The amount of views I've got and subscribers I've got now anyway, it's not like I'm making enough. I haven't had enough to take out and use or anything anyway. So it's an annoyance more than anything. I make this channel for fun and because I want to make it, not for the money. The money would just be a nice extra if it does come flowing in. Well, flowing is probably the wrong word. I should say if it does come trickling in very slowly. That would be very nice, and the fact that YouTube has brought it way up is a little disheartening, I'll be honest. But that isn't what this channel's about. It's about me making videos because I enjoy them. So in terms of that, this channel isn't going anywhere. I'll continue to make videos for everyone to watch, and hopefully one day we'll get there. Thank you for all my new subscribers. I've shot up to 62 subscribers at the time of making these videos, so that's massively appreciated. Thank you very much for everyone who has subscribed lately and throughout the last year. You know, it's very much appreciated. Thank you very much, and hopefully we can gradually increase that and maybe get to that threshold and get monetized again. But you know, if not, so be it. I'll still be here to make videos that I enjoy doing, and hopefully some of you enjoy watching. But yeah, thank you very much for watching this video, for seeing my brief thoughts on the Nintendo Labo cardboard creations set. I'll be back soon with another video, and until next time, I'll see you later. Bye bye.